All this week, we've been giving you a look inside Cuba, a country closed off from Americans for more than 5 decades. The travel restrictions are easing, and soon Hoosiers will be able to join the rush of Americans who are visiting Cuba for the first time. Tonight, we take a look at the culture that Cubans will try to preserve as their country and the U.S. enter a new relationship with Cuba Rediscovered. As you travel through Havana,
Still working. From 1955.
It's as if Cuban history is literally passing right by. The cars tell a story. U.S. automakers exported their last ones to the island almost 60 years ago. The Soviet Union sent Ladas and Polskis in the 70s and 80s. And Chinese automaker Geely GK flooded the market in the 1990s. And today, all of these cars are on the road together, rolling by some buildings that are 500 years old, many of which look every bit their age.
Let us just smoke.
But one thing that has remained constant here is cigars. Cubans are famous for them and proud of it.
Everything is done by hand, just like the artist.
We'll call him Hector, a young man who rolls cigars in a government factory by day and for himself at night, using tobacco he brings home with him. Cubans believe they have the best tobacco in the world, ironically because of where it's grown, right on the Tropic of Cancer.
He's using the best ingredients. He's working with his hands, and he's creating something, especially something from nature.
He worked as an apprentice for 2 years before getting hired on full-time, a job he says that any Cuban would be proud to have.
You cannot separate Cuban history from tobacco. It is just interwoven in the history. The two things are synonymous.
But history aside, his government job doesn't pay well, only about $20 a month. Hector can supplement his income by rolling a few extra cigars at home and selling them on the side. The extra money helps support his extended family in their small apartment. 8 people live here, 2 in this room and 6 across the way. Grandparents, parents, children, spouses, all sharing less than 500 square feet of space. Here, dinner time is hardly a formal affair. But just a few blocks away, visitors are eating restaurant meals that Hector and his family could never afford. The emerging market economy works on 2 levels, one for Cubans and another for everyone else. One of the surprises that American tourists will find in Cuba is a thriving art scene. In amongst the restaurants and bars and stores selling cheap souvenirs, there are eclectic art galleries like this one, with artists who have shown their work all over the world. Leo de Lazaro is a painter and sculptor who has had his art displayed in France, Mexico, and Holland. But to him and gallery manager Roger De La Fuente, American art buyers are the key to the future.
Yeah, it is good because he sells the art, we sell the art. And then it is good because he makes investments in developing his life and his own art. So for him, it's very linked. Both of them are together.
It is a link that many Cubans are hoping Americans begin to make. As the sun sets on one era here, they are hoping that the American people and their relative wealth will help bring this island a brighter day tomorrow. And just a few months ago, this would have been illegal here in the United States. As it is now, tourists can bring back about $100 worth of Cuban cigars. Now, tourist travel to Cuba is still not allowed, but students are among those who can get a visa to go. Tomorrow night, see what a group of journalism students from Ball State University discovered in Cuba on an educational exchange. And you also may want to check out some of the great web extra material from our Cuba Rediscovered trip at WTHR.com. We have photo galleries, videos, and blogs. You can find it all under the Cuba Rediscovered section of our website and also under Hot Topics.